as Eli Manning stays on his feet. It is caught by Tyree.
Good evening, my love.
How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
You look good.
Want your back, the thing up.
I'm just saying.
This is the Catch the Moment Family Edition. We're at a really interesting place in our child rearing.
We are.
Did you agree?
Yeah, I can hear them.
I know, it sounds pretty bad. They're upstairs stomping.
Yep.
Stomp the yard up in here, okay? Because I'm trying to conceptualize what they could possibly be doing. The more I think about it, the more angry I get.
Trying to destroy our peace.
Pretty much.
But yeah, I don't know. It's felt this way for a long time. It's just been a long time we talked about it, right? Just all this.
Yeah, I think we only did one time. One time we talked about the whole. That's because we were having a moment. We were having like a real moment.
Dealing with these. Did we even? I don't even know if we dropped that episode. I guess
we did.
Yeah, we did. We dropped. We did drop it. We dropped that hot fire. This teenage nugras. No, man, it's so good.
It's called the Blood, Sweat, and Tears episodes.
The addition.
So think about it. We became parents at 21.
Let me help you. It look like you need a little help right there.
Became parents at 21. Mm-hmm. Here we are at 43. Mm-hmm. You see that? You got me?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, a lot has happened, but a lot has changed.
Oh, gosh.
And who we were when we began is definitely not who we are today.
Yeah.
So I was kind of just thinking about like the journey, the parenting journey.
Mm-hmm.
And it's expected, right? You have your first kid. It's the first time you ever committed to somebody. It's the first time doing it.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to every firstborn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's called trial and error.
Okay, crash test dummies out here. And even good parents still a crash test dummy. It's the first time.
Isn't it funny? And I wasn't the first in my family. So.
No, I was the last.
Right. When I think about being like me being a mom then and me being a mom today,
man,
has definitely, I've been translated to say the least.
Not transformed, translated.
Translated.
Going from one place to another place.
Yes.
It's fantastic. No, it's definitely been a massive evolution. You know, I mean, oh gosh. That's why I love my son. That's why I love my firstborn, Tayon.
I mean, he really does have a lot of grace on him. Because we needed that grace, I promise.
Joker carrying a little baby around on campus in Syracuse, New York. He was a G.
It's called mission.
Okay, so
mission-minded.
Let me take 1 minute to tell you about this woman here. Finds out we pregnant going into senior year.
Look, guys, I was really trying not to be a statistic. I was really trying to not drop out because I had to be the first to graduate college.
You talk about, I already knew I had a winner. I mean, she half black, half Puerto Rican.
You just like them pork chops, be honest.
No, listen,
it was some fried pork chops. Yes, it was.
It was the rice and gandules.
It was the starch.
The pork chops was nice. It was a nice addition. I barely ate pork, though. It was that salty, skinny pork chop. But, baby, let me tell you. Okay, so she was already a winner. She get pregnant. We make this tough decision. We steamroll ahead and carry the baby on campus, come back in the fall. The date was like December 12th, right? Like that was like the anticipate, like the due date.
It definitely was.
Right around finals. She's on campus the whole time, 8 to 9 months pregnant. Finishes
9 to 10 months.
Finishes finals. Drops Tayon on the winter break like he was an album. Tayon William Robert coming to you during the winter break. You know what I'm saying, son? Drops him on the winter break. Comes back. Spring semester, no problem. Plan of action, we're parents. On Syracuse University.
Seriously. We're like, what we have to do is make it to May.
No rest, no stops. You know, that's why she got the old school nickname, but, you know, we redeemed it. Can't stop, won't stop.
Right. You redeemed it.
You redeemed it, baby. All things new. So talk about, you know, just obviously, it's been graduations. It's been moving on up. It's
been all kinds of changes. Listen,
we got adults around here.
I mean, I want to, okay, we have Tayon. Then about 2.5 years to 3 years later, we have Josiah.
Yeah.
Right? Then
game changer.
We go from 2 to 4 with the twins.
Mm-hmm.
Then we decide.
That was a Leilah right there, though, We come across some nut jobs who love Jesus.
And everybody always asks us, did we want a big family? Now, I will say I definitely wanted 4. I think you wanted 3, but you skipped over that. So we understood that wasn't the will of God.
That wasn't God's plan. I never even got a chance to experience 3.
Right.
I never got a chance to put my foot down. I feel like I'm living this out like it's Groundhog's Day.
I cannot.
I've been trying to put my foot down since I met you.
I can't.
Ridiculous.
And then we decided that we were going to be open to having a bigger family. We just really felt moved by God to just, okay, we're not going to be the 2.5 kids with a picket fence. We're going to we were going to believe God and let's have some kids.
She tricked me.
Now,
I was willing.
I kind of did trick you. No, I didn't really trick you.
Conviction. It was a holy conviction.
It was.
But I kind of went for the ride. I'm like, so that mean we gonna keep having sex?
And you.
I get the dump. I'm just dump. No. But you know what? I did see the value in the denial of having children. And it sounds like this really hard thing because it's such a beautiful thing, but being responsible I understood the maturity in the exchange of raising of nurturing a family. And that's kind of what allowed me to be so open to some of the convictions. It was good. It
was. So when we have Solomon.
That's right. 2010, bang, bang.
There you go.
I call them post-career kids. They came
They came quick, it feels like.
He did.
And then a year later, we have Samuel. And finally, Alina.
Because at 6, I was mentally done. I was like, I'm good. I felt like we had an agreement, but we just I wasn't trying to go get my nuts clipped, y'all. Just being honest. I have some old school caveman tendencies. And, I can't even act like, I feel free. I'm still out here. She looking good. I'm still, she still got the pheromones going. But I feel like it was a difference. Something happened. There was a transaction when they stepped me. And I'm like, I lost a little bit of the it was like, I still got but it's like, You know what I'm saying? Nah, man, but God tricked me for Alina. I felt like
come on, baby.
I can't blame you.
Stop blaming the Lord.
Yeah, I did blame. I blame the Lord. It's okay. I'm free. Me and Jesus have a relationship. I talked to him about it already. I feel like you should be able to get a pass. You just leave it in there one time. You shouldn't automatically have a kid with one transaction.
No, you. That's the things that happen to you and me by default. So we slide Alina in there.
Literally.
And that was probably for me, that was like...
You got to worry about it for you. I was going straight to it.
That was the cherry on the top. I was like, okay, is this cake going to stay put together?
Forget a Sunday. That was a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 7 days, 7 kids.
Seriously.
It was all done.
But it was all good. And we also, at the time, we decided, we had already been homeschooling.
That's right.
So when I think about as the years progressed, we're homeschooling. And I really feel like, let me ask you this. Do you think parenting now versus parenting when they're younger, do you think, which one do you feel like is easier?
For me, it's now.
Now is easier for you?
Obviously, through the earliest years, I would say like 1 through 6, 1 through 7. So much nurture, so much like children a little more tender, and I'm a little more abrasive. I think men in general. I think we know we have the ability, and of course, even with your boys, you want to get out there and play with your boys and all that, and some of those things. But depending on what your life looks like is what allows you to be able to do those things. So I feel like once you get to the some of these ages, as they start maturing and they're developing their own interests, it's a lot more meaningful to me to facilitate that, give understanding, give more guidance, and develop. I guess that's kind of that's a little bit to who I am by nature. But as far as easier, it's hard not to say that them being younger is easier. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, easier is the key word.
Easier is the key word.
Yeah, but it's not, you know. Yeah, I guess I've never been into easy things. That's why I got 7 kids.
Easier meaning, I mean, when I compare the two, is that maybe it's just maybe from a mother's perspective, right? Which is mothers tend to want to be nurturing. They want to provide that security and all of those things. And that seems more attainable when they're younger.
My levels of engagement, what gets me excited is seeing them come into their own, right? Like in their,
it's exciting. It can be exciting or it can be scary, depending on the day it is.
Yeah, I'm not much threatened by it. I mean, like, you know, when you see things that you don't like, you got to figure out the best way to
But
facilitate.
sometimes you can see things you don't like, but those things are directly related to you.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that?
Your child is the constant reminder as everything that you are and everything that you're not, right? So I think having that awareness, I'm never distanced from it. So when I see behaviors that could be associated with mine, even behaviors that are negative, that could be associated with mine, it's getting them to own up to their actions, but also taking account for, you know, if it's something that's, you know, I want to say hypocritical, but, you know, like, I think the good thing about our home, I can speak for our home, is that we're living consistent with our beliefs, right? Like, and I think that is what allows us to demand certain means of change or certain means of growth and create, hopefully, you know, a healthy dialogue or a command of obedience or just, you know, but if it's associated with me, it's just like there's something I need to change or there's something I need to do that better positions them to flourish. I'm not threatened because it's my devil or whatever, or my genes. It's just I have the awareness. That means I can pray through it, work through it. But I kind of thrive off of some of those challenges internally. But yeah, some things you just never want to see. Some things you know.
Some things you never want to see. I was thinking that, like you said, sometimes they can be a great reflection of you. So even when I was saying like who I was then compared to who I'm still becoming.
Sure.
I could see the effect of Leilah at 21 on a Tayon versus Leilah at 43 on the twins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just the growth and just honestly normalizing it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's pretty normal.
It's
and
important
not, you know, and not getting stuck that even when, like you said, even when you encounter perhaps things, habits, ways.
Yeah.
Right? That you can actually course correct them. You could be honest, because sometimes we don't want to be honest about it.
Yeah.
Because we do feel like, oh my, like it can be a very direct reflection of ourselves.
You know, one of the quickest lessons I learned was, you know, this was our first few years having Tayon. You know, we were separated for a little while. And, you know, when you 22 years old, 23 years old, you know, you're trying to regain, you know, and you have a child, you're trying to regain good times, right? Like, I'm just speaking from my standpoint. You're responsible, but, you know, you got grandma in there and you watch Tayon. So Tayon grew up in front of the television for the first 2 years. Like, anytime there was a moment to get back time, put on the TV, he enjoys it, he's locked in. And that's one of my biggest regrets, because I felt like I created a passive disposition in my son that I had to try to work so hard even through his teen years. And then you have the emerging rise of technology that I couldn't even fight against because it was a cultural paradigm. So in his youngest years, I sat him in front of SpongeBob season 1 and season 2. And, you know, even when we kind of come off the dose, you know, it's like entertainment's a part of it. Of course. But no, that's my doing. Like that's my doing because of my lack of understanding, my lack of awareness. You know, we perish for lack of knowledge.
Right.
And that kind of created something that was unpleasing to me as a father, as a man, that it was like course correcting took the whole duration of his, you know, of his within our home, just serving my son. And then, so yeah, it's real. The impact is real. You have to find, you have to be able to be honest about it.
Right.
Like we don't get a chance to choose the response.
Yes.
To whatever things that we sometimes introduce. It's like one person drinks and they never drink again. Another person drinks and they're on the bottle for the rest of their life. And I think it's like that with many things that we can introduce to our children.
It kind of reminds me of the reality of how important it is to train, right? Like, I think child rearing is, it can be a challenge because of the need for training. Yeah. Like, we would like to kind of think that things are just in there and they're just going to be deposited somehow by osmosis. But the truth is, unless someone is born with innate abilities, which is possible.
Sure.
Just from us, I mean, we've had 7 kids and we've seen, I could say, oh, Tayon, he's pretty much, a self-learner. But Josiah was nothing like that. He was the complete opposite of that. But being able to, as a parent, like, there's work to be done. So it kind of reminds me because recently with the girls, so we have twin girls, they're 15, they're going into their junior year. And I really wanted them to get this internship or some shadowing experience so they can kind of get out there and talk to people and get some hands-on experience that's not just youtube.com. But what I had them do, I said, you're going to have to call all of the vision centers. You're going to have to call all of the veterinarian. But what did I have to do? I had to literally train them on what are you going to say when you call.
That's right.
Like giving them the blueprint or showing them like, okay, this is probably what you want to say. You want to sound confident. You know what I mean? You want to ask questions, things of that nature. And at least for my kids, that's an area that they need training in. That may not be somebody else's, but the necessity of training, meaning if you want to see it, you're going to actually have to talk about it and you're going to have to do it. We say that. We say what gets talked about gets done.
That's correct.
Right? So whatever the emphasis is in your family paradigm is what I think the children grab hold of as well.
Absolutely. It's taught or caught, right? And so, taught is by means of instruction and someone demonstrating and showing you themselves. Caught is environmental. And so we had so many of these conversations. Some people can be stimulated through an environment that provokes action, right? So easy thing for me is share my athletic journey. It didn't start until I moved to Montclair where kids did sports. I did sports because kids did sports. Social acclimation, and it created initiative in me. That very initiative for athletics creates initiative for me in relation to work. But again, if you're not teaching it though, and even sometimes if you're in the environment, it's not automatic.
Correct.
So, you have to be, and like I said, these were things that we learned. We missed some opportunities. I feel like I missed some opportunities even more so with the boys, just commitments in front office and trying to finagle the calendar not being as intentional or effective and just kind of owning that. Like, okay, maybe I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do it. How do you find people who can help you get to these things? And you just kind of have to have a good amount of self-awareness of yourself as well as for your kids. I mean, like, what could they benefit from? Because most kids, like I said, they're not offering enough information, because they might not know just yet. So when you take that extra step, it really positions them and empowers them.
Yes.
That's good.
That's excellent.
You did that, huh? You good. Didn't we get some good news with the girls too?
We did. They actually, Sophia has an opportunity 2 days a week. She starts at the end of June.
Come on, somebody.
To shadow an optometrist.
Bearing fruit.
So I think that's gonna be great for her.
Listen, man, and I'm looking for good news for
Hannah.
For my lovely Dudleys.
So any veterinarians out there? Okay, our girls are phenomenal. They're dynamic. They're wonderful.
They're just wonderful.
Okay, they meet them one time, they love them. They meet them one time, they love them. But But I realized how important training is literally everywhere. Training to take out the garbage, training to clean. Now I get back in our day when that Saturday would be a cleaning day.
Man, listen,
at least I don't know if it's in every family, every community, but that was like, first, I think it killed two birds with one stone. One is the house is getting clean, but I think it also provided that sense of family. Mm-hmm. A
sense
time
of duty
where
too.
Yes, that we're all doing this together. Everybody's doing their part.
Hey guys, looking for an edge in sports betting? Our sponsor, betting.us, has got you covered. Get expert analysis, betting tips, and up-to-date odds all in one place. Bet smarter with betting.us, the ultimate sports betting destination. Listen, it's probably one of the biggest, and I would venture to believe that it's a breakdown. Like, most people are delegating cleaning outsourcing cleaning in their homes. Everybody's trying to get their time back.
Right.
Everybody's determined that the time is worth
Guilty.
more. Yeah, and we don't give our children. We don't. We have prioritized sports and activities, and I get it. There was something that was gained within the home, a sense of responsibility to the home, the family, and what we actually own.
Yes.
Ourselves, our home, our sense of worth and dignity in our space, and the fact that this is a priority.
Yes.
When the house is clean, you can go about your business.
Yes.
When this thing is spick and span, then you can go about your business. And it cultivated better humans.
It did. Because it really did put the priority at home. Mm-hmm. Like, your home should be in order before you start dibbling and dabbling in other things. And didn't put pleasure in front of duty.
Yeah. So it goes back to training, because sometimes, even scripturally, train a child in the way that he should go, and when he's older, he shall not depart. Training is intense. And I just want to remind, all my people in this parenting, right? Training is intense. It's not like, training camp. We used to leave to go to another place. We used to leave our natural environment, go away to Albany to train for a month. It was called training. Boot camp, you're gone. You are removed, because sometimes native environments create too many distractions to produce the results that we're looking for. So sometimes you have to understand what the goal is in training to get the results that are going to last a lifetime.
Bam.
Come on, somebody.
That's how.
Message.
That's literally how it works. But here we are now. Now, obviously Taion's been out of the house since the end of March.
Taion's an airman.
He is an airman. He is doing well. Is he doing well? Did he tell you?
Like every time you find somebody in the military, you just want to salute them, even though ain't no reason to salute nobody. Just out here, just cheesing, saluting folk. But
Did you ask him how he's doing?
I did. I talked to Taion today, y'all. It won't be today when you hear this episode, but
Hopefully we spoke
to him today. Man, he's good, man. Like, he's task oriented. Just like you said, Taion is. If you line him up, he'll knock him down. Right? He has you put too much on his plate, it can be challenging. But he's now rising to it because he has focus. He's in an environment where there's clear direction. Mm-hmm. He's flourishing, kind of as we anticipated. Once we arrived to the Air Force, we anticipated that he would flourish, and I think that's what's happened. I got him. I broke down.
I saw you. What did you order?
I ordered Taion a PS5. And so I would never order my son a PS5 under my own roof. But now that he is on his own, it's because I would get him a gift that wouldn't destroy him when he's under my home, but now that he's an adult with a job, gaining skills, I had to get him a gift that was something for him. And he communicated that if he could have any console, he would get a PS5. So that's what good fathers do. We had that was a transition gift. Mm-hmm. That was a transition gift, something that would be meaningful, all about him, not about me. Now I'm back to giving them something. If anything, the next one is going to be something I think is beneficial.
Right.
But that one was for him. You heard that, y'all? I'm in trouble. Interesting.
I love it. So we have that. Josiah just graduated.
Yeah, man.
He's feeling real good right now. But he don't know that. Adult. life is going through.
I think he knows, but it's about to get real.
He's excited. But you know what I've seen? I mean, it's nothing like an accomplishment.
It is.
Honestly. And it doesn't matter how big or how small it is.
Nah.
Because, it's not like he didn't graduate from college. I mean, we expected him to graduate high school.
The dude's brilliant.
But to kind of cross that finish line.
Yeah, finally. And it's been a little rougher road for him.
It has.
It hasn't been straight. It's
been zigzag.
Yeah, it's been a little.
It's been a zigzag with him,
For real. And for all kinds of different reasons, you know. But this was a massive year of maturity for him. Stability, affirmation, some sobriety.
Yeah.
Just in like, man, I could be really good. I could have been better.
Yes.
Participated in sports. But then he got it done. He just got whatever he needed. And it wasn't always easy. He was not always a happy camper. We like to mess with him, say he might have his period.
Sometimes.
He's emotional. He's an emotional young man. He's emotional. He wears his emotions on his sleeve. Kind of like Macho Man. Yeah. So, but you know what? It's like I said, some of it's having some patience, recognizing differences. But I tell this joke, I say, hey, listen, man, the more likable you are, the more people are willing to deal with you. I'm getting around and having straight shooter conversation because, if you out here just, making the atmosphere, stinking up the atmosphere, I'm like, you're going to shorten the leash. I'm like, no parent wants to send their children away. There's this reality that happens, especially with young men, where we want to get out and do and be and rule, have dominion. And that's kind of what happens with young men. It's like, man, they want to get out and fly, sometimes before ahead of schedule, and ultimately you want to see them fly. You want to see them do it in the best way. I think we, got a nice little plan of action. It's just great to see him smiling.
Yeah.
He got so many people who love him.
He feels free now.
He went and empowered himself with a Nintendo Switch.
He sure did.
Because he's, 18 years old. I'm like, listen, man, you got the right to go to jail and the right to vote. Hey, listen, man, Jews wanted to do one. Okay. But that's really what you have the right to do, because I do separate, the age from being, you're a legal adult. Being a man is something totally different. Being a man is to be dutiful, being responsible, and it takes another man to tell you that you're a man. And but I'm just super proud that he's arriving and he's up to the task.
I am too. I'm excited for him. So he's about to get his driver's license. Yes.
Yeah, that's the focal point.
Yeah, because he can't apply for without one.
And listen, I was without license leaving high school.
Let me tell you something. When I met David Tyree.
Hey.
Brother didn't have a license.
We didn't have a car. What you talking about? I had bus tickets. New Jersey Transit.
Not just,
34.
Okay, I get it.
What you talking about, son?
But you got your license too late.
Yeah, what are we practicing on? That GP was not in the house.
Well, you were obviously practicing on other people's cars is what you were doing.
I wasn't.
Without a license. Okay, you were working a job without a license, not just me.
I was willing to risk driving without a license because I was an idiot. Even though I didn't know how to drive. Because you can't tell nobody you can't drive when you're 18 years old in college.
They didn't ask you for your license?
But don't worry about this. I got this. When you're a crazy lunatic, hypocrite, you just sign up for the job. Can you drive? Hell yeah, I can drive. Of course I can drive.
Babe, I cannot believe you.
Hey, listen, y'all, I worked at a car dealership with no light. I crashed I done messed up brand new cars up there in Syracuse.
I know you did.
Clank. It was like, get this Negro off my lot.
I don't even know how they let you do that.
Hey, listen, man, we were Syracuse football.
It's terrible.
Syracuse football. They was trying to get us summer jobs. We was up there. They wanted us up there for a summer. They had to get us a job.
What about when you got out the car too soon?
Yeah. I mean, like, I think many people have done things like that.
No, man, babe. We ain't talking about many people. We talking about.
I mean, you're dragging me up, but don't make it seem like it's uncommon. Like people don't forget to put the car in park.
The problem is you didn't have a license.
That ain't the problem. The problem is I got out the car when the car was still up and drive. So I'm getting to the liquor store, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because it's summertime. hit up the LQ. I think it was Diesel's. I think it was my boy Lou.
Yes.
Had a nice little expedition. Miami cats, they rolled big time. Yeah, I just rolled up, and you got your foot on the gas. I mean, you got your foot on the brake. Probably look for the wallet inside the little thing real quick, and you just move it. Now, literally, the front door is like it's one of those places where you park in front of the liquor store, and it's like right there. So I get out, I take about 2 steps forward. I realize the car is moving forward. I'm like, oh. Now, it's not moving that fast, and it's probably only, 3 feet, 4 feet until it hits the thing, but boom, that thing cracked. It didn't hit the glass, it hit the thing, but it vibrated and cracked the window of that liquor store. I was like, sugar.
Sugar.
Good sugar and cotton candy. Man, listen, man, I had all kind of dumb
These are youthful
moments of humiliation
that we're all trying to save our kids from.
Listen, boy, I'm trying to tell you, this is why it's easier to deal with my son's mess. I'm like, listen, you got your own bag, but thank God you ain't got daddy's bag, okay? Because daddy's bag was dangerous. Daddy's den of iniquity was dangerous.
Truthful.
But yeah, man, like it's those things, man. It's just, making irresponsible decisions that, how about like you not break the law? Right?
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's like, how about we not break the law? And I had wonderful parents. It's just like when you're just a loose cannon and you're not giving clear insight and instruction, then, it leaves gaps.
I was a scary cat.
You were.
I really was.
So wonderful.
No, I'm just telling you, I was just actually my brother was a forerunner. So I didn't have to.
I'm trying not to go off tangent talking about her.
No, we're not going to talk about my brother. But he was enough for me to just, I don't have to do all that. I just have to do what these people want. Move on with life. I didn't want no problems.
I'm going to be obedient.
I didn't want no problems.
No, you were just a delight. Man, she took me on my feet, man. We're supposed to be talking about these kids, man.
Exactly. It's you. You're distracted. You're distracted.
This is her.
I'm trying to.
Me? Okay. It's me.
It's you.
She asked me about my former life.
I didn't really ask.
You did. You asked about the dumb decisions I made. See how she's undressing me and my stupidity. See how this goes?
But guess what? I'm going to address my stupid moment. Letting you drive my car with no lights.
Oh, well, you know how that goes. So, the best story behind that is, back, this was in college in the early 2000s. There was a Kings of Comedy that came out, and it was epic hit. And then not too long after, the Queens of Comedy came out. And it was like some more who's still out there in the comedy circuit. I can't even remember who the other ones was. I know
Monique.
Monique was one. Yep, yeah, Monique was one. And so Monique's still around. There was 2 other ones, but Samore had the funniest joke, and I felt so good when she said this joke. She said, the D is good. When you let that Negro drive and he ain't got no license, I was like, yes, in the face. Okay, I was like, yes, that's me.
Babe, you are so funny.
That's a shameless, pass plug right there, man. Pure joy.
Plug. I love it.
Pure joy. But I had no license. But thankful to you, I was able to get my license.
That's very true. And you got a lot of practice.
I did.
You did.
I got good up there with you.
You did. You were fine.
Yeah, thank you.
After those.
That neon, man. God bless that neon. R.I.P. to the neon, man.
I know. Yes. So what are you looking forward to most? Obviously, we have our 2 oldest sons have.
Sure.
They're embarking on adulthood. So now it feels good to kind of just come behind them and support and even to see them to look back and say like, hey, so
our life wasn't so jacked up. Like my oldest son is starting to realize that, we gave him some good stuff, because he's in the military. We about to speak similar language.
Yeah, that's
high
true.
standards, accountability, and a lot of the things like that. I think what I'm most looking forward to is I'm kind of in it. Like when I stepped away, when everything happened in 2020, it took me a while to digest what was happening. You now all of a sudden it's full-time business. And I think one of the things I really came away from was that God wanted me to be more available and more present with my boys, you know, and I think that more so with my sons because of the need and the demand in certain stages. And I heard your pleas through the years, and I think I was just limited in our ability to address certain things with some of the schedule challenges around the NFL calendar, blah, blah, blah. So short story, I just really feel I'm excited about where we are right now, last couple of years. And we got the no days off summer with the kids. So we working out in the morning.
Right.
So, you know, the whole Tyree Nation right now is working out with Daddy. We got on the clock 3 to 4 days a week in the mornings. So even though they're in summertime, they don't get no days off. They got to put some work in. We put some physical work in, and then they can, you know, kind of get into their summer days and try to find some productivity. The girls are moving in the right direction, and the little ones, we're going to kick up some activities as we move along. And again, Josiah getting his license squared away. You know, they take so much intention, right? So
yeah,
we feel like their calendars is kind of ruling our calendar often sometimes.
Yeah, it begins to merge at some point. I mean, because things have to get done. So like you're saying, whether it's the license, whether it's getting the girls like, okay, right now we need to do this, this, and this, because we have to give them that extra push. And then don't forget, you can't expect what you don't inspect.
My biggest challenge has always been having to think for other people. Like I can do and support where some of my liabilities were for like Tayon and Josiah was they lacked some of the initiative, the reminders. Hey, Dad, I need to go drive. If I gotta think for you, it's not gonna get done because I already got a Rolodex of things in my brain that has to get done. Whether it's business, whether it's, you know, serving God, serving the kingdom, whether it's, you know, I want to get a date night with my wife. I need to do this. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm trying to lay a foundation for a business. And I gotta get something on the calendar for you, and I gotta think about it. So that was some of my weaknesses. But I'm happy we steered clear. Now it's not a calendar for him. We got, you know, it's easy to get things on the schedule during the day. But that's what I'm really excited about, being present. And I've always been that kind of person where it's hard for, you know, out of sight, out of mind, but I want to be able to give my attention and my presence to what's actually before me versus having to focus so much attention to other things outside of it. I like being present when people are around. I don't like being disconnected in the midst of people. So I try to, you know, just give my best.
You know what I'm looking forward to?
What are you looking forward to, beautiful?
You're probably going to be shocked.
I probably am. Because it's nice to hear that you're looking forward to something.
I'm looking forward to the kids competing.
Well, you know, you used to ostracize competition, man.
No, I didn't ostracize competition. I was too busy.
There's healthy competition and there's unhealthy competition. So I think most people focus on unhealthy competition.
Really? I didn't feel that way, honestly. You know, I'm the efficient person, so I could easily not care about something. Because
well, that's what I'm saying. Like when you don't care about something, the prospect of competing, right? It's like everything has.
Yeah, because I'm like, we're not competing. What you're gonna do is get this Jesus. That was
tell the truth, right?
So and they're gonna get that anyway. But to watch them this year compete,
I know it did something.
And not only that, but I think my kids are fantastic. I think they could win. You understand? If I don't think I could win, then I won't give any attention to it.
Terrible.
I'm just saying. It has to be another, it doesn't, I don't mean like that, but you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you sound like.
So, but.
That's why she don't step on a Monopoly table. Is basically, that's all she said.
No, Ashton asked me to come back, and I decided this season I'm coming back. I'm coming back. We're gonna have a rematch. But my thing is that, see, I'm the like train. So I want to see them train, and it can't be me.
No, it can't be. Because you're crazy.
Why are you looking?
Because you're classy.
Okay, it can't be me. Okay, but I want them.
They Coach Tyree out here in these streets.
I need some training.
Coach Tyree out here in these streets.
But I'm looking forward to that because I think
they came alive.
They're good and that they can get
monumentally
really good.
better.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's so much room for growth, even where they're at now.
There's a competition is healthy, and I think it's all about the environment that you're in, the kind of coaches and parents that you have. That's what's always brought me joy. And, I've seen some toxic environments just because of me being an athlete. I've seen some amazing championship culture type environments, right? And that doesn't mean everybody's saying all the right things. It just means that the objectives are clear and the bonds are formed where everybody understands what the mission is, the well-being of one another, and, to kind of be willing to serve your brother by giving your best effort and bringing your best person to work every single day. So I'm excited for that because awesome. that's really what's, competition in sports. It can bring the best out of individuals in ways where they could ascend far beyond their individual efforts and accomplish something great. So awesome. That's great, man. Yeah. That's great. It's exciting times.
And you know what? Actually, probably in August, you're going to have to sign the boys up for football if you want them to play this year. Because I think that's when the sign-up begins.
She's putting the ball in my court now. Mm-hmm. Well, I know I got one that's super anxious. I haven't talked to my other guys to see where his temperature is. Because football is a sport that, number one, I think anybody can benefit from. I still love it, still believe in it, still love being a part of it. But I'm like, it ain't for the faint heart. It is not for the faint heart. And if you don't have an understanding of that, it's like that's one of those things where it might not be good to step into that arena if you're not ready to be violent. Because it's...
Why? But we're just kids.
No, violent. It's a violent sport. It's literally controlled violence. Controlled violence. Every movement is meant to be explosive and violent. And that's a great, great thing when it's channeled properly. It's the best team sport in the world. It produces the good high testosterone men that we need overall in general. There's all kinds of different jokers in the locker room, but good stuff. I'm excited about it. Tyree Nation's thriving, becoming along, and hopefully some of that insight helps some of these listeners.
Awesome.
You all good?
I'm all good.
Yes, you are. I'm about to make sure you're better.
You know.
Better.
I just want you to know he's nasty.